Hello and welcome to our video essay analyzing Morphopolis, an engaging game about transformation and discovery that captivates the player. Morphopolis takes the audience through a puzzle adventure in order to advance through the levels as you travel the incredible insect world. The gamer helps the insect grow and develop through the process of metamorphosis. We claim that Morphopolis portrays animals as enigmatic, independent creatures in harmony with nature, and enables the audience to comprehend, instead of control much of, the complexity of a seemingly simple life. Let's look at a few scenarios from the game to better understand this concept.
The aesthetics of this game are vibrant and colorful. The interesting images capture the player and keep them engaged throughout the game. So why is this important? The beautiful setting adds a sense of wonder and awe for the player. The creator of the game wants us to feel the beauty of the environment and how the insects live. It makes the player value the insect more since they live and exist in such a beautiful space. In real life, we don't notice how beautiful the insect's environment is because looking at it from a human's perspective, all we see is grass and dirt. Once we are placed in the shoes of an insect, we finally get to see what they experience and what they have to go through, which opens up the player's eyes to the life of a bug.
The game starts off by provoking the player to start collecting items to make a cocoon for the aphid. The fingers point to the items necessary, eventually portraying a flower after all the pieces correctly align. The process of collecting items to make a cocoon starts the player off with a task vital to the insect, essentially drawing a parallel to the crucial significance and complexity of all actions insects are forced to do from the time they are born. This ties into our working stance, as the player aids the insect in creating a cocoon instead of controlling much of the process.
Once you complete level 1, you are placed in a new setting as a different bug in level 2. The new insect is larger and more complex than before, and the environment is also much more full of life, and more bugs live there. One also notices there are no instructions on what to do, and you must figure it out all on your own. This sudden change in action and business from level 1 to level 2 suggests that an insect's life is sudden and unexpected. Animals live in a world of rapid change, and are thrown into unexpected, foreign situations constantly. They don't have a rulebook or guide on how to live their lives, and they live on their own. The lack of instruction serves to give the player a sense of panic as to what to do and feel the same way many animals do in the wild.
After enough time, we can get into the plant and find our first puzzle, a game that involves positioning roots the different colored stems in the bulb of a flower to help it bloom. This flower, in turn, is pivotal to the growth and development of the insects, and must therefore be solved before being allowed to proceed. This also engages the player and encourages them to use logical thinking skills. This serves as an analogy to how animals too must think, evaluate, and solve issues as they advance through their lives, thus enhancing our understanding of them and commanding more respect for them.
You are transported into a scene with lightning bugs all around you. A group of lightning bugs plays a tune, each one lighting up at a different time. Your task as the bug is to repeat the tune by clicking on the bugs that lit up in the same order as they originally lit up. Perhaps this is the creators of the game trying to tell us that while animals are making their way through the world on their own, there's a sense of harmony and connectivity between species. There is community between animals, and their interactions are important and natural. The community between animals is often a mutualistic one, one out of respect, and as the completion of a level awards the player a grasshopper leg.
This level centers around a large dead bee. The main focus is to assist the bee by collecting items within closed pods surrounding the environment. Another puzzle you are tasked with is a matching game where you have to match similar colored bugs in order to unlock the legs to the bee. One of the largest obstacles in level 3 is a dragonfly, which blocks your way to the large dead bee you are trying to help in this level. This level brings us more examples of the negative and positive relationships that insects and plants have with each other. Having to open the pods attached to the vines in order to collect your items or finish that puzzle are all ways bugs have to interact with each other and plants to move on in life.
As the final point before completing our metamorphosis. After acquiring the scary mask to frighten a beetle, you are allowed to travel deep within the earth to confront a large praying mantis. It's time to acquire its leg, and of course that task is accompanied by a puzzle. After matching the black spaces with their respective flora, you collect his leg and play one of the final puzzles, checkers. Sort of. After getting down to one piece, you complete your scary mask and scare away the last beetle. Here we see our prime example of complexity within simplicity in these animals. The puzzles required of this level are extremely challenging, yet our seemingly young but wise character manages to perform to the best of his abilities. This animal has an incredible mind of its own. It works efficiently when solving the checkers puzzles, and we, as players, spend half the time watching in awe. We press the buttons, yet the message remains. We don't control these animals. We should respect them and respect how hard they work. Insects, in reality, have to solve puzzles to survive. Maybe not checkers, but certainly other challenges. They survive through creative methods. Maybe not a literal scary mask, but certainly through other means. All we should do is help them grow and prosper, while also keeping our respective distance, and that is exactly the essence and the argument behind these two games.
The player collects dead bug limbs throughout the game. However, it doesn't disgust the player as it is portrayed in a non-violent manner. The player even climbs into the head of a dead bug, but yet again, it isn't revolting. In other video games, especially dealing with animals, most are either portrayed as underneath the control of humans or even being killed by the player. In Morphopolis, you don't control or kill the insects, instead you guide them. And there is no gore. The game portrays this as almost normal, part of their daily life, which it is. Because of this, instead of being disgusted by this seemingly violent behavior, we are intrigued and filled with a sense of wonder.
After level 4, we come to the grand finale, adulthood. Level 5 serves as a sort of celebration of what was accomplished over the game: growth, intelligence, and the pursuit of a goal. You are now an adult insect and can roam the land with your brothers and sisters. We argue that contrary to other work, this game shows animals as creatures we don't fully understand, and essentially ones we should therefore respect, understand, and let be. We argue that the game represents growth through the ways of life, through the metaphor of the life cycle of an aphid, and how our trials and tribulations make us who we are and what we are apt to be. It's a coming-of-age story in the form of a minuscule, animalistic, and pure vessel. We encourage everyone in this class and beyond to try this game and truly immerse yourself in the life of a simple yet spectacular little bug. Thank you.